So this is a good junior target, is it not? It is. And you like removing a grace is always good. But I do think this is really like it's gonna be really hard for Ninja to deal with it. Because you can't answer scenario, and next round Maiden's Shield is coming down. And like not killing the Maiden's Shield the turn that it's played is a huge problem. It just also happens the Ninja Bang missed Bank and Siggy Mastermind, so he's just completely cooked. This might just be Bretko closing out the series. I don't think you play lock here. You just drop the Maiden's Shield. He does play into poison a little bit, but you have a Purify. Yeah, the proof of SY being the worst faction. And what is the best faction, Reeds? Is it NG?
Fuck you, Nilf garbage.
See, now you can't lock the little bird. Do you ever go for the eavesdrop play to try and maybe draw Bank or Mastermind? By eavesdrop play, I mean play Shady in the front.
One man's battlefield is
Ooh, that poison. I don't like that poison. Well, maybe he thinks Bretko missed Maiden's Shield. No, because he knows Bretko has AA.
Fighting spirit, what needs ye to flee this world ever
Yes,
free?
like when I'm. Alrighty, hello and welcome to another weekly tournament. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. We got 16 people who already signed up and have their decks ready, so we filled this one. I usually put a limit on 16 people just to make sure it doesn't take too long. Oops, minor misclick there. Let me get some music going. If you're in the tournament, you have 1 minute to double check, make sure everything you've submitted is correct. And then we'll get started. And we had a balance patch, I think 2 days ago. And these are the results. So we had power buff for Combi. It's now 5 power. Master Mirror is now 7 power. She Troll Vertigan is now 5. Curdy Shelmar got a power buff. Messenger got their power nerf reverted. Haymay Protector, which used to be a 4/4, is now 5/5. 5 power for 5 provisions. On Crate Raiders. Got a power increase. So with Bran, there'll be 6 power at the start. 7 power in round 2, 8 power in round 3. This is where they used to be, right? They're basically 7 or 8, 9, 10 for 5. With Bran and Veteran. Giant Toad's got a power buff as well. Used to be 4. Raiders used to be 4, then 5, then 4. Ah, okay. Who won? Wait, who won the last match? You can watch the VOD there, or if you want to know the winner, just type !champ. Archespore buff is kind of interesting because it's probably very strong now, but it still won't be played in Brewis decks. So it's technically a buff for maybe V, but also other Deathwish decks or decks that can afford to fit a consume may want to play this now. But this card was like literally not played before, so probably a good change. You win the last matchup, yeah. Hey, Seth Wolf. We got Zoltan Warrior, Siggy Mastermind, Revenant Kimbolt, Ivar, Riptide, Dandelion, Afond, Iris, and Firesword Squad all got power nerfs, as well as the Range Corsair. We got provision increases to Invigorate, Jackpot, this is the hand buff leader, Temple, Painted Ale, Mutagenerator, Joachim, Vernon Roche, Highland Warlord, Kikimor Stalker, and Kikimor Warrior. I don't understand these changes at all. I'm guessing there's power buffs coming for them from some sort of Seagull Coalition type stuff, but whatever. Basically, these cards are literally unplayable right now for the next month. Unless you get them from Hive Mind, where you don't care about provisions. And then we have Torres, provision buffs for Torres, Sihil, Sigvald, Ulfedin, Philippa Blind Fury, Priscilla, Maruna, Hammond, Open Sesame, and Half-Elf Hunter. Yeah. Just wanted to give a quick recap so everybody knows what all has changed, but obviously there's more to unpack there, but we have a tournament to start. So this week we have I Love Olmath, Ninja Pang, Yanevsky, Tom Who Laughs, Nukmar, Papa Carlo 78, is that a B? 78? Eurosmeister, Orako, Seth 8, Nick Yukiar Lucianic, Kepko, Cyrus the Great, Bretko, Max Tremere, also known as Mr. Troco, or Labita de El Corbado, something. Labita Cora de Bardo. There you go. I got it. Young Face and Ladder Ape. I think Ladder Ape is Beetlegraph. So without further ado, I'm going to do my final check. Make sure that the deck lists are marked as open. 4 decks, best of 3. Finals will be best of 5. If the games are drawn, you replay. And everything looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and click Start Tournament. So round 1, it's going to be Ninja Pang versus Bretko, Yanevsky versus Tom Who Laughs, I Love Olmath versus Youngface, Kepko versus Macromere, Orako versus Cyrus, Papa Carlo versus Ladder Ape, Nokmar versus Nick UKR, Seth 8 versus Eurosmeister. And before I forget, I'm going to add Aithna, Dryad, who has recently made a Shiro guide. So if you like playing Shiro, check that out. Aithna, feel free to post the link in the chat. Sometimes they also help me observe games. They have their own stream. Shout out to Aithna. I'm versus last champion, first round match. Last week, Bretko won, right? I believe. Yeah, Bretko won last week, not Kepko. But Kepko did win recently, and he's been in the finals a few times. So maybe this is the game we watch. Oh, I gotta also add myself as an admin, as a spectator. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the tournament and start round 1. Players have 10 minutes to do their picks and bans. Close name, Kek. Yes, there was a K and an O. And an E in common. I would like to see a Sihil deck being played. Then, if you want that, you should go back in time and tell CDPR not to trash the card the way that they did. They literally destroyed it. Like, it was an annoying card, and people didn't like playing against it, but then CDPR, like, took a chainsaw to it. Just like they did with Yurden. It was one of those cards that got, in my view, dramatically over-nerfed. Arguably unnecessarily so. Could have just done with a smaller nerf. It was like a rework that killed it, basically. And, like, something I never understood during the time the CDPR was balancing the game directly was when you do a rework and a card goes from, like, somewhat sometimes played to literally never played, like, it doesn't matter if you don't have a better idea. Just undo. Just undo. Just Control Z. If a rework results in 0 play rate, just revert it. Like, just like, I don't... They were allergic to admitting they messed up. That's always a bad sign, because balancing a game, a player versus player game with so many, like, different factors that go into things, it's just hard. And you're gonna get things wrong. And if you don't start, if your process doesn't have that as a possibility that you could screw up, if you don't recognize that, and if you're not okay with reverting stuff that you did, you have no business balancing a multiplayer game. I think not reverting a bad change does exactly that. It makes you look like you have no idea what you're doing. But I've been around, like, online PvP games for a long time, probably longer than most of the people at CDPR who worked on this stuff. So maybe that's more obvious to me, but... All right. Let's get into game number 1 between Max Tremere and Kepko. I think this is how you write their names. In terms of the decks, we have Kepko with Inspired Zeal and R, Deathwish Monsters, and Enslave 6. Let's take a quick look at what those decks are. So Inspire Zeal with Dandelion and Seus Veraxis, which I think recently got a provision buff. Oh. Thank you, Pio. Nick, let me make sure I fix that. Who are you playing against? Nockmar. Okay. Almost always, it's just missing an HTTPS. So let me just fix that. Their NG deck has the same problem. Okay, try now. Okay. So this deck has a Boiling Glow and a Lock. There's also a Vez, which got buffed at some point. And there's a Random Duel. Should be interesting. This looks like normal Deathwish. Now that Toad got buffed, we'll probably see more of this. It's just a very solid blue coin deck. And Riptide, even though it's 8 power, is still in this deck. This is Kepko's Helga deck. I don't think anything changed. And game 1's going to be... excuse me. Deathwish against Soldiers. So, Slave Infantry is one of the cards that got buffed this patch. It is now a 6 base power card, so it can play for up to 11 And I'm checking Troko's deck, and it doesn't look like he plays a slave infantry. What? He probably forgot. He plays a scholar, but not a slave infantry. That's his only 4P unit. So it's a Shoop Ivar deck with Imperial Formation soldiers. And over here we have Kepko with Death Wish. So Death Wish is going to do the Death Wish thing, which is to play Dagon and infuse 5 units. Those units are a Toad, a Foglet, the Arrakis Queen, a Succubus, and a Dettlaff. These 2 cards you always want to play and consume them, so it makes sense that they have the infusion. And then a Toad is infused so that you can thin it and put it in your graveyard for carryover. No Gwent sound. Thank you. Should have sound now. Brewess Ritual gets played, Urn gets clicked, it pulls out the Toad and the Succubus. And then Dagon consumes the Brewess and pulls out 2 more. So Call of the Depths is now at 0 charges.
The Board of Ethics would never allow it.
Extramere opened with a Marine, followed by an Oxenford Scholar. This is not a this is a Calvi deck, but he didn't draw the Calvi, and he also didn't draw the War Council. Foglet might have killed the Marine, but Battle Prep saves it. Kepko made sure to play his second Toad. And now he plays a Seleno Harpy. Call of the Depths is at 2 charges now, so it means with Dettlaff and AQ, it will get to 4. But if either Dettlaff or AQ gets Heat Waved, or Shoop Stolen, or locked, then Dagon, the 8-point Dagon with a Consume will not be available as carryover for Kepko. I did, Aithna. You are a spectator. You should be able to add yourself to any games you want. Oh, maybe it's because you're not an admin. I'll make you an admin as well. Like, maybe as spectator, I have to add you. So I'll just make you an admin as well so you can add yourself. Okay, try now. I apologize for all my coughing and throat clearing. Okay, so Kepko won round 1, and he has an Erendite in deck, which is at 5 power. It's natural for him to bleed round 2. Max Tremere does have Ivar, which will be 1 plus, like in this case, 22 points. So that's a pretty big card to have in this matchup, especially when you're defending a bleed. I'm expecting we'll see Rune Mage from Troko first. No. He wants to get his engines on the board. And the crossbow pulls the Nausicaa Brigade from the deck and it goes melee row, so he gets an extra point of value from the crossbow. Both things with the Dettlaff, which means Cyclops on Dettlaff will no longer kill the crossbow. That's a little bit unfortunate for Kepko. He's gonna play a Death Wish card. And he puts the Arrakis Queen on the back row so it gets immediately consumed. And that ensures that Dagon does come out. So it prevents any sort of lock or yoink on the AQ'd Dettlaff. Both Toads are out now though, but Kepko has a 40-point lead. That's a lot. This is 23 point. Wait, this is 23 points. So it's not enough by itself. This is 2 points a turn. So we have a decree for Peller
Leave this world ever free.
to remove the lock on that laugh. Here we see the light cap from Troko. He wants to get his other 2-point a turn engine down as soon as possible. And this one, I think, will result in a Cyclops removing the crossbow. Makes sense. This will still be 2 points a turn now, but Troko's going to be struggling to get points. Have to see what he does. Oh, actually, this is no longer 22. This is now 29 points. That's 433, so 43. So Troko just needs like a 13-point card or something. The problem is, like, Rune Mage, like, he wants to play Calvite, but he might not have enough. Like, he might not get a chance. Right? He needs tempo.
Have you ever laid eyes on a deception of such grandeur?
Ruffle is 5, tempo plus 6, so it's like, it was the most. Yeah, Kepko just immediately passes.
Onward, sons of Nilfgaard!
How does Max Tremere make up the point difference? He's getting 1 more point from Light Cav, right?
Think you're strong. Let's you and me find out.
Okay, he should be good. I don't think he needed the leader. Yeah, that leader was unnecessary, right? But he did have to go down a card. Which is a problem. It's going to be pretty hard for Max Tremere to get enough points, I think. But he does have all of his best cards left. He did manage to play Calvite. He does have a remedy he can use here. And he's going to grab a succubus, right? Yeah.
I'm just a sexy little cog and fucked up
And if he
shit.
manages to find a consume, he will get 5 points of value out of the succubus, and it will end up having played for 10.
I
That's
don't
going to
have a
be
dirty mind.
tough. Kepko plays the succubus and immediately consumes it. He didn't want it to get locked, or... I guess locking it wouldn't be a big deal, but he didn't want it to get heat waved or yoinked, maybe? Not sure. Illusionist targets are not... There's not a lot of them. Maybe a bridge troll, I don't know.
Reality is that which the
Yeah,
believe
that's
it
what Kroko goes
or
for.
does not
He could find like an Andrago warrior from Rune Mage. That's like the ideal outcome, right? Because that will play for 5 plus 4 plus 5. So 14 points. Would be pretty good. Would be pretty good Rune Mage. But Kepko just locks the succubus. Prevent the possibility of that. We should see Rune Mage here now. Because you want to make sure your Redea and Shoop get 5 options.
Saying
Troko plays the Sergeant first. I guess he wants to get... that Sergeant does help reduce Erendite value. Right now, Kepko has a bit of an adrenaline problem, right? Because he can't play his second Succubus yet. He also, like, he has the Erendite, but he doesn't have, except for the Succubus, doesn't have any Deathwish targets. So if that Succubus gets locked, he's kind of in trouble. And I'm not sure why Kepko didn't just play Riptide there, rather than in Draco Warrior. Should see. Oh, he goes for Nilfgaard. Did not expect that. But maybe an Imperial Marine has 3 turns, 4 turns. So technically, this is an 11. Viper Witcher Mentor wouldn't be good at all. Ducal Guard might actually be the most points when you think about it. Because it was 5 plus 6, right? I guess it's the same. But this is easier to remove. And we might just see Erendite. Yeah. I guess that's why... That was one reason why Kepko played Endergor earlier, just to have an Erendite target. Because he knows, in terms of removal, his opponent just has a Heat Wave and a Shoot. Or Destroy Random. So, playing Endergo Warrior, putting 2 bodies on the board, makes Destroy Random worse. It also makes Heat Wave worse. So here comes Redea. On the back row, not in front, interestingly enough. Would have thought the lock would be better. Like, lock is only 2 points less. And you have to assume your opponent's going to play a Doldu lock. They have a leader charge left. And a Shoop lock is 4 less points. Whereas a Redea lock is 2 less points. So, you could argue that's a small misplay from Troko as well. He messed up 1 leader charge in the previous round, and he messed up like 2 points here. So if the game ends up being decided by 4 points, we'll see. Kepko, he waved the Sergeant. And so Troko ends up using the War Council Battle Prep on the Illusionist because he wants to deny Riptide value. This Riptide's looking very sad. It's a literal 8 for 9. Like, you can play 8 for 4 or you can play 8 for 9. And he's gonna play an 8 for 9. I honestly would not play Riptide in any decks right now. I think this card is like actual garbage tier. Young Face, Weeple, are you around? They might be having internet problems. Sometimes that's an issue. Comes Shoot. Oh. Kepko was always planning to play Succubus as the last 2 cards, so the Shoop was never going to get... Was never going to get to lock anything. So that wasn't a misplay at all with the Redea. So Troko just like straight up outpointed. And this Doldu lock is not going to be enough points. 53 to 41. Even though Max Tremere was down 2 cards, he actually won round 3 pretty comfortably against Deathwish. Erendite carryover was not enough. All my homies hate Riptide. Clearly. I never understood the hate for that card. Made no sense to me, but whatever. Who can explain how the Papegas think? The Papega Council. So Troko gets up 1-0, winning with Shoop Nilfgaard against Deathwish. I kind of didn't see that coming. They think? Yeah. That's interesting. Both players banned each other's off the books. Nobody wants to play against Open Sesame. But this game, Max Tremere is going to be Wk1, and he'll be playing either Call of Harmony or Reckless Flurry, and he chose Call of Harmony. Kepko is playing Helga and Slave 6. So it's going to be Saskia, Scenario Harmony versus Enslave 6. This should be interesting because there's not enough control in this Harmony deck to deal with all of the siege machines in Kepko's deck. But this deck has a lot of points. The points do come, a lot of them do come from engines. There's no heat wave for the scenario, right? So in terms of control, there's coded weapons, there's assassinations, there's amnesties. Those are all very potent, especially because they can be comboed with FP Helga or Fire Scorpion. Max Tremere, in terms of control, has poisons. And that is it. I don't see a lock. I see a Popko, but I don't really think Popko is going to live. I expect it to live. Then again, Kepko probably isn't going to contest round 1. This card is now 4 provisions, so it makes sense to play it in a Harmony deck. 4 provision Harmony Elf. Looking for Thrive buffs next month. No, people also hate, like, Sir Scratch-A-Lot and Kashi and... I don't know, man. Because, like, you hate what you don't understand, right? You see a lot of points come out in 2 turns, you're like, ah, Kashi OP, yeah. So coded weapons with battle stations gets the miner back into the deck. And now this has 2 charges, so Hofko wouldn't be safe. There's also a Sandor variant. Waiting for game? Usually the client will just send you another invite automatically. If that doesn't happen, you guys can do it as a friendly. But it should, if you just like, if you got an error, if you just wait, you should get a new invite.
Is it not the most beautiful sight?
I don't have the power to like issue a new invite. The system just does it after a certain amount of time. But if you guys like wait 5 minutes and you don't get an invite, then you might have to do a friendly.
The wilderness shall reclaim your fields.
Nothing will stop us.
Alright, so we had an Antherion come out on Max Tremere's side and he got amnestied. You lost the next 2 matches automatic? Okay. Yeah, just play it as friendlies. And then I'll update the result.
Bow before Nilfgaard's rightful empress.
Another amnesty. steals a chameleon.
Today's gonna be a good day.
Yeah. Opponent is young face, right? Yeah. Sometimes young face can't connect for whatever reason. So, and I don't see them in chat. So they'll just get a technical win. That's why there's a time limit on bans. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Okay. We have a Diplo into an Antherion. Now there's 2 Antherions and a Chameleon for Kepco. And Max Tremere is in trouble. Because this False Siri will go over to the other side. And like he's running out of cards to play here. It's currently losing on even against the deck where you, I think, need to bleed their Hefty Helga. Can Popco attack friendlies? It can. What did he kill? Why did he kill a Menno? Was it infused? No. Here comes Abduction into Magni. Will it be War Council or Boohurt? It's gonna be War Council. Oh, sorry, Boohurt. Charcoal might have just accepted that he's losing on even. Yeah. I feel like these two are not reading what I'm typing. I've told both of you individually you're going to play it as a friendly and I'll update the client. And you're all freaking out. Oh my god, the charity client says this person won, but we didn't really play our game. I know. I'm aware. I literally also typed it and said it on stream. Get with the program, guys.
The front lines, I suppose.
Wait, let's keep going. Okay, so Max Tremere over here, after giving up the round, plays Waters of Broccoli, and Kepco plays a Toxicologist.
I give my right hand for marinated
How
herring.
did this gnome come to be? It was from Call of the Forest. So that should tell, when you see Call of the Forest to play Percival, you kind of know that your opponent has Quorixis and Dana in hand. Kind of. So you assume they have some of their good cards in hand. And Max Tremere just jams the scenario. This should be War Council. I think Harmony, as long as they have Quorixis leader Dana, have a better short round. So the infused Dryad Fledgling also got coded weapons. This is where it gets tricky. I think Max Tremere has to play this Dryad Ranger. Oh, he plays Dana. Wow. He wants to save these 2 poisons for Helga, I guess. Because he's not getting any carryover from this. That's the... Wait, why didn't this get boosted? Oh, because Dana herself is a relic. Yeah. Trocco really wanted that pass.
ashes of Broccolon, their taste still upon my lips.
So Troko doesn't get Birch Guardian. Not too surprising considering how much he got fogged. Here comes Abduction. 16-point Giga Drone. Troko would love to poison that, but at the same time, maybe he wants to save poison for Helga. He drops the Chameleon. He has 3 clicks on the Chameleon. The problem with poison here is that there's a Purify.
Your next move shall be your last.
The Helga can do 4 damage right now, so it can't actually kill the Ranger. It can kill the Chameleon. I say 4 damage because there's damage from this.
The stars contend you shall be victorious today.
I mean, there's no way you damage the Chameleon if you're not going to finish it off. Yeah, because the power resets. And this is where Troko's in trouble. Because now he has the poison card that doesn't do anything. He's just going to play his Dryad, I'm pretty sure. I guess if he doesn't play the Dryad this turn, Stefan will come out and clean up. Or, sorry, like he was worried about losing this engine, I guess. Ardal isn't great right now. Since everything's getting removed.
Merely a matter of time.
Okay. Kepko leaves the fledgling alive because he's got 2 tall punishes in hand.
One arrow. That is all I need.
I mean, this ranger's just gonna die. There's 2 charges right there. There's Arnold.
Reduce your pathetic realms to embers.
43 to 0. I don't think Leader Quarix is going to be enough to catch up. Even if Kepko would pass here, he probably wins the game. Yeah, not the most inspiring choices. Oh wait, he does kill the Helga at least. And he draws there's a Fire Scorpion, which isn't anything. But no, obviously it's 41-16. This game over. Flaggy with the 50 stream streak. Thank you, Flaggy. That's incredible power. So that ties up the series 1-1, which means last game Kepko will be blue, and he'll have to play either Death Wish or Inspire Zeal, and Troko will be playing a Harmony or Reckless Flurry. Here is Max Dremir's Reckless Flurry deck. I believe this is also a Shoop deck. No, it's just Witchers. It's Witchers at Portal and Geralt Axie, which is a Yoink. NG, the cutest faction. Agreed. Hey, Cappy Terry. How's it going? See you. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. If you are looking for a way to support the stream and you like energy drinks, you can get a 20% discount code or discount when you buy Rogue Energy stuff from my link. You can also always donate, or bits and subs are always appreciated. They help keep the stream running. For those of you that have the means and are able to and are so inclined, we do appreciate it. What is going to be the matchup this game? If I'm Kepko, Deathwish beats Witchers easily, I think. But probably loses to Harmony. If you expect Troko to play Harmony again this time from Red Coin, do you play Inspired Zeal? Let's find out. Yeah. Kepko plays Inspired Zeal, and Troko actually pulled out the Witchers. But he kind of anticipated... I think what happened was... Kepko assumed that... Oh, sorry, Troko assumed that Kepko would assume that Troko would play Harmony from Red Coin. And so if Troko's playing Harmony, then the better deck for Kepko to pick was this NR deck. And so Max Tremere picked SK to counter the NR. I think that's what happened.
My lady, your elegance does draw jealous eyes.
This could be a Quen into Escol, just to get rid of this Dandelion, because this Dandelion is not just 9 points. Right, it's... Okay, Troko just decides to let the carryover happen. He's just going to play Portal. But that means he's going to leave the round.
Now disperse. Go to your home.
We see Bernard Laredo come out and duel the Catwitcher Mentor. Oh, sorry, the Catwitcher Adept. I mean, this card, I guess, played for 12? Maybe less. 11?
I'd lend you a hand, but then I'd have none.
Hey, Leon, how's it going? Good to see you. Ah, Bernard is a soldier, so that's cool. Gives crew to frigates. I hadn't thought about that. This Dandelion getting all this carryover is quite worrisome. And Vandergrift's Blade comes down, does 5 damage, and we'll boost the next unit played by 4, so it's like a 9 for 7. This is actually more points than Riptide, even in like a scenario where you kill a 4. And you can target it. You can decide what you kill with it. Interesting. Lead a charge.
Forget.
Was that to get Hubert out or to protect Dandelion from something? I guess Dandelion was 7. So it could have gotten
Any last words?
yoinked? Yeah. So Kepko played around Axel and also around Professional. But now Troko yoinks? I say Axel. Axie. Geralt Axie. Played for 3 plus 14, right? 17 for 10 is pretty good. 1-1? Okay. Thanks, Seth.
Axe or mace?
So we saw Natalis into AA into Squire. But there's no knights, so this will be something you click when you're planning to pass. Meanwhile, Troko plays Oniromancy into Vesemir Mentor. He wants to make sure he wins the round. Actually, this Axie was a lot more than 17. It was because this engine lives and it's just going to be points per turn. Kepko wishes he had Meave in hand right now, or in deck, but he doesn't. He just has a swarm of units. But he does have a second frigate now. He can drop the Scarak Marine over here. And he clicked the Squire earlier, so the Squire just played for 6 points. No infusion. But, like I said, this Dandelion is killing. Getting points. So, Troko may win the round. I mean, he can professional the Dandelion now. But, like, look at all the boosts. Maeve is in the new season. They call her Maeve.
Damn it.
Meliateli? Oh my god. I don't want to watch it. You can't make me watch it. Even though we lived a couple hundred years before Geralt. Oh boy. Wait, what? He just played an armor up for 2 points because he didn't want to play Gwent and he knew he could just get ahead with an armor up.
No! That is
Why didn't we put this between 2 soldiers? Oh, you're allergic to crew? You just don't like points? So Troko ends up winning the round on even.
Last words.
He didn't play any offerings or all gods, so he got no carryover. He wins with 69 points, which is commendable. But look at this Anseus and this vest. I mean, this is 16 points of carryover here, and this is 8 points of carryover. Another 2. That's a lot of carryover. Sometimes... Oh. Looks like you guys are in your game. Good luck. Then he gets to play as All God. Of course, Tremere, Max Tremere is going to bleed here. Whenever you're playing against handball, like whether it's Pirates or Invigorate or something like this, and round 1 went long, you basically kind of have to make sure that you get their cards out. This is going to be interesting for Troko. Will he... Oh, he cut Eskel. He just plays Axie. He doesn't play Eskel at all. Okay. He plays Heatwave. Heatwave on Vest makes sense. It was the tallest card. He was going to get the Heatwave. So here comes the Squire. And Max Tremere unfortunately cannot leader an offering. If he could, he would have. But he did get the second AA out. So I think all in all that was a successful bleed. He got Vest and he got an AA. But there's Anseus. And the Siege Master, but no Siege Engines left in the deck, so I guess that gets mulligan. Wait, yes there was. Ah! Not believing in the heart of the cards. Doesn't matter though. There's a Seltkirk and an Anseus. Seltkirk will get Zeal. Anseus has the boost, so he can be played on melee row. There's Marguerite.
Double the kind.
The lock doesn't matter, so we just drop the Bear Witcher. Interesting decision to play the Anseus there, but it does deny there being a Witcher on the board, I guess. Troko was hoping for... I don't know what he was hoping for. Why didn't he play Offering first? He's hoping to get this to 6. He ends up playing Offering for 3 points. Well, he kind of wasted his leader. But he can play Trial of Grasses now. And the Seltkirk is a brick. It'll be 15 points on this side, and he's got way more than 15, so Rocco takes a cool line, basically invalidates the duelers. He was, I guess, always planning to do this. He missed 2 points by not, like, offering and then leader, but it didn't matter because he won 23 to 15. Well played by Troco. Actually, a really cool series all around. I was constantly surprised. So he's going to advance into the next round. Kepko gets knocked out, which is itself a big deal. Keck gameplay by you. Keck gameplay is still appreciated. So we're still waiting for Seth and Eurosmeister to finish their game. But the winner of that series will play against Nick UKR. Orocco versus Ladder Ape is a series. Orocco 2-0'd Cyrus and Ladder Ape 2-0'd Papa Carlo. I guess I'll be watching that. Aithne is going to be streaming Ninja Pang versus Tom Who Laughs, so if you want to see that game. Now you can watch this one. I'll stream this one, I think. Third game, first round was something. It really was. I was kind of surprised you let the Dandelion live. I was wondering what your plan was for that. I was like, well, either he'll kill it or he'll pass. You just kind of let it live, and it worked out. And that, like, 2-point armor up was also hilarious. Were you confident in the Death Wish game against Nilfgaard? Rocco? Okay. I wasn't sure how that matchup goes. I thought Death Wish was gonna just win it all, but I guess Ivar's a good card, huh? Old Geralt Pro used to be Rollock? Oh, I was... Okay. That does explain a few things, I suppose. Bro! It's been like 4 years. At some point, you gotta update your lexicon of cards. That's crazy. Okay, well, since we have time, I had another question for you. Now I've forgotten. Oh, the draft. How come you... So, I theorized that, you know, if Kepko played Deathwish again on blue, Harmony would be easy win. And since he played, like... So I thought he might play, you know, Deathwish, and then you might play Harmony. But then Kepko would think of that, and so he picked Zeal. So you pick something instead of picking... Because Kepko would think you would pick Harmony, so... was that what happened? Or is this deck just always good? Like, you were always going to pick that? Regardless. Okay, then I overthought it as usual. Love a good narrative, though. Surrender second game. Yeah, you just don't have enough control for Helga. Makes sense. So your also ran deck saved you. Because Reckless Flurry was your 4th deck, right? So, if you're wondering what's going on, this series is a technical win for Olmath because Youngface didn't do any bans. First time we see best of 3 with 4 decks. Yeah, the final is best of 5. But I like, we've been doing it best of 3 with 4 decks for a while now. So that it doesn't come down to whatever your worst deck is in a matchup. And it's more about how your best decks in a matchup fare. Yes, you are. It also lets us do finals as the best of 5. So finals is the best of 5. But yeah, what we're waiting on right now is this game to finish. The tourney client bugged out, so we're waiting on the results of game 3. They're playing it in a friendly game. Trocco, what do you think about the format versus like standard Conquest? Do you prefer it or is fine? Like I do wonder what Gwent tournaments would have been like if there was always an extra deck. Usually don't have 4 decks. It's interesting, at least something new, but I should play more to see if it's better or not. Yeah. I will be curious to hear your thoughts after you've had some time. Okay, so I'm going to be watching Oracle versus Ladder Ape next. We can use this time to take a look at their decks. So, Oracle brought Tactical Decision, Mobilization, Off the Books, and Blaze of Glory. So that's a little bit more relaxing. It's the idea is like you're not forced, like if you bring a deck that's just countered by opponent's entire lineup, you don't have to play it. So I feel like in like previous tournaments, there was this meta game of like, oh, well, this deck is good, so I expect people will be bringing it. Therefore, I'm going to bring a counter lineup for targeting. I'm going to target Arrakis, or I'm going to target Harmony, or whatever. I'm going to target Assimilate. And then, like, if you ran into someone who had brought one of those decks, you just win, because as long as all 3 of your decks beat Assimilate, anyone who brings Assimilate automatically loses against you. You won 2-1? Okay, so this is correct. Excellent. Let's go ahead and start round 2. Round 2. All right, good luck, have fun, guys. You have now 10 minutes to do your bets. I love that emote so much. So Orako versus a Ladder Ape. Orako brought Tactical Decision with Assimilate. Interesting. So there's no Calvite here. There is Torres, Artaud, and Galeem. This is kind of old school, isn't it? You got Dead Man's Tongue. You got Tourney Shelmar. Which makes sense. It got buffed. I don't see... I see 2 Slave Infantry. I guess that solves the tempo problem. What are the targets for them? What do you transform? Ah, you play Blightmakers. So... We're not Blightmakers, but Mage Assassins. Mage Assassins with this leader. So that you can Slave Infantry them. Interesting. But I guess there's also Magni is an okay target. And... that's it. Because these other... like, these spies are going to be on the other side of the board. It's not like you can transform them. Anna's not a good target. So, Ladder Ape banned Orako's Off the Book Syndicate. And Orako banned Ladder Ape's Enslaved deck. I guess I should take a quick look at the other decks real quick. We have Mobilization Siege with Vass. And are there oh, it's Scouts? Is this Temerians? No. Cintrian Royal Guards. Very interesting. With 1 Dwem. We got Flotsam. Flotsam Scouts. But for Cintrian Royal Guards. And then Vest to give Scouts Zeal if needed. Also musicians. And then this is the Off the Books deck that got banned, I believe. Yeah. I'll get rid of this one. And then this is the Blaze of Glory. It's just a Compass discard deck. And I think this card is just for thinning. Ryogon. I've been a fan of like Ryogon as a... because it improves your round 1 draws. It's like a 0-point Musicians of Blaviken that you play for 8 provisions, but doesn't have a deck building condition. So you can still play 4P cards, which we see here. There's lots of them. But it like auto-thins itself at the start of the game. There's also a Sunset. And it's technically a Hjalmar target. So I think this is very cool. Kind of clever. Does this mean you can open with Svanriga? And it plays for 11? 11 for 8, better than Riptide. And then, what did Ladder Ape bring?
Yield and save me some
Death
time.
Wish, Shield Wall, Harmony, and this is the Enslaved deck that got banned. It was just Enslave Assimilate with Shelmar. And Obsidian Mirrors. Yeah, Obsidian Mirrors makes sense for a Slave Infantry deck. But we're going to see Blaze of Glory first on blue for Orako. It's an Erendite deck that uses discards for tempo and has Compass. There's also an Ulula, which will combo with Hertia and Rockvar Warriors and Uncreate Marauders.
Let's not get in the way of me axe.
We see an opening Scald.
The quill is mine.
Ladder Ape opens with Dandelion and gives it a shield.
Suited to my lady.
I think this should get insta Heat Wave because yeah, immediately Orako, no hesitation, Heat Waves Dandelion. Dandelion, if left unchecked, is just like 3 points a turn or whatever, right? Or I guess 2 points a turn of carryover, which is a lot. It's like a piggy, but in your deck. Plus there's synergies, right? So Ladder Ape's plan round 1 has got to be getting some engines on the board. Because Blaze of Glory type decks usually they don't have engines, they just have tempo from discard. So if you want to contest round 1, you get engines on the board, and just over time, you win them over. That being said, Wk1 does have Herkia available, which is an engine. And these cards are all pretty decent tempo. Here comes Immortal Cavalry, 2 bodies with shield. Griffin with your crew. Surrounded by camels. Camels to the left, camels to the right. Here I am, in between 2 shields. And it's gone. No more crew for Griffin Witcher. It's very interesting that, like, I guess there wasn't a better target. But now Damn Sword comes down, and this will play for 8 points if left alone. Herkia gets put back in the deck, and a Skirm is drawn. That's pretty cool. Could have been a Squirrel, could have been a Shackles, but everything else was a gold. So it was a pretty high chance to get this Skirm with the Strays of Spala. Boiling Oil plays for 5 points.
Hey, listen here.
And Herkia is now back in the deck. Back in hand, sorry. So, Scald Skirm plays for 8 points again. 8 tempo. And Ladder Ape will be able to get ahead by playing Keldar. And using 1 leader charge. Decides not to click the Damn Sword. Because he doesn't want it to get... doesn't want to get leader value. Here comes Herkia. And it does, in fact, ping the Keldar. Sunset does pop out, so now it's 26 to 39. Looks like Wk1 brought... Never mind. There's Teshem answering Herkia. It was worth, I don't know, 8 or 9 points at least. Not bad for Teshem. There is a Lemons in hand. But playing Lemon's melee row will be a problem. I'm not sure why Keldar wasn't put in the back row. There will be no engines that need to be answered with a boiling oil. Right? Well, I guess it could be comboed. Not really. Boiling oil is just worth 5 in this matchup. So you could play it here as Ladder Ape. Instead, Ladder Ape plays Lemons and is gonna ban it. Oh, wait, it was Wk1's turn. My bad. I was so confused. So Sigrifa is played for Herkia. And then Boiling Oil is the response. Apparently Ladder Ape is ahead by 1 point. But I mean, that's not much. Wk1 can play Keller and get ahead. Wait, actually, Wk1 can pass here. Because there's a ping from Herkia. I wonder if that's what they're thinking about. And I bet right now Ladder Ape is regretting, like, this positioning.
Parting spirit, what need ye to flee this world ever free?
Okay, so Pellar comes down and Herkia gets clicked. Lemons and a leader charge would put Ladder Ape ahead.
Ice scars? No, they don't hurt.
Will that get a response in the form of a leader from Morocco? Because leader Svanriga is a lot of points. And then your opponent just passes and you're very sad. Yep, we are gonna see leader on Morkwark. So we kept Jutta in deck for some reason. I'm not sure I understand why. Because it's not like this deck is going to go very tall. Unless you just lose because they pass back and your compass is dead. Why was that the case? Like, why did playing extra cards change how much thinning you do? You could always thin later. However way you thinned in round 1, you could thin in later rounds, no? It's not like there was a stratagem that wasn't clicked. Oh, it was a tie. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, you never... You don't take the tie. When I said I think they can pass, it was because I thought they were ahead by 1 point, but maybe I'm wrong. I must have miscalculated. Okay, but do we have any theories as to why Jutta wasn't the leader charge? Because like Morkwarg would be useful here with Coral, whereas Jutta isn't.
Another little thunderbolt. Charmin.
Ladder Ape chose to go...
That might even be amusing.
Or sorry, Oraka chose to go long round. I thought the reason to win round 1 was to try and bleed Golden Necker. Well, maybe I wasn't looking. Maybe there wasn't a good enough leading hand. Compass into Ice Bloodthirst. I have seen that done. It's not that unlikely, I guess.
What can I do for you?
But not gonna happen anymore because Coral just discarded the Jutta. Sangreal. But then we discarded it, so that doesn't answer that.
Yield and save me some time.
The Sangreals... How are we... What? The Sangreal played for 0 points. Didn't it?
Can't see it getting any better than this.
Guess we were hoping for a Griffin Witcher? Here comes Compass into Fukusia. Is it... Wait, would Swanvika boost by 12? 13 or whatever? Because it is the last card to enter the graveyard, right? Yeah, oh my god, there it is. So that's why. That's the reason. The reason was because Oraka was always planning on playing Fukusia into 2 turns of rain and 16. So 20 plus 4. Like, that was a 24-point compass. Hey, Ovagante. Can you bang Jutta in the game? Stevie duh.
Who wants to taste Skelliger Steel?
There's Hjalmar. Hey, what did he ban? Oh, right, Jutta is still in the graveyard. Even if you Sandra it doesn't consume it. Only monster stuff consumes and gets rid of cards. All the SK stuff, you get to reuse them. Yeah. I don't think this decree is going to be enough. Erendite's at 13 points. Well? No, right, because Sangreal is worthless. Sangreal is... Yeah. Lose by 10. So if there had been a leader charge or a Witcher, Griffin Witcher, that game would have gone the other way. But as it stands, Ladder Ape loses the game to Morocco's Blaze of Glory. So Blaze of Glory gets through. We have Siege Mobilization and Tactical Decision left for Morocco. And Ladder Ape still has all three. I assume this is normal Death Wish, but I just want to confirm. Yeah, normal Death Wish with Siegfried. Desert Banshee. 1D Shackles, 2 Cyclops. Erendite, Heatwave, Riptide. People still playing Riptide. Okay. At this point, you just... I don't know, man. Play K-Ran. Less embarrassing. Like, was Riptide at 9 power really a problem? Makes no sense. Like, I understand Slave Infantry to 6 power because, like, it's a terrible change, but it's a funny change. Or an impactful change. Like, Riptide power minus is, like, makes no sense. Not even on a troll level. That's a good question, Man of the East. I literally don't get it. I have no idea. I have no answer to that question. Yeah. It was changed in the most recent council patch. The Council of Pepegas. I don't even know if there was a coalition that pushed for it or if it was like one of those random. I lost on ladder. I played an engine turn 1 and it died. It can't go to 7 without first go to 8. No! Please tell me Hey Leon. Please tell me we didn't get screwed out of a game. Come on, Tony Klein, don't do me like this. At least you got 1 power Ivar and 6 power Slave Infantry. That's 100% balanced. Yeah. No, I mean, those are obviously terrible changes that are not balanced in any way, shape, or form. But, like, they still make more sense than the Riptide change. Because the Riptide change is just a boring change. It's not even... It's like calling a meeting of everyone to get together so you can all, like, walk into the same room, look at each other, one person farts and then everybody leaves. Like that's what the Riptide change is. Like everybody traveled for an hour to meet at a location for one person to fart, and then everybody walked out the room, and that's it. Exactly, Val. Like I understand slave infantry because it's dumb and unbalanced and broken and unnecessary and should be immediately reverted. But it's funny. Just for Regis finally instead of Ivar. Yeah, like jokes should be funny. Riptide Power isn't funny. It's like me walking up to you, like writing you a letter, and then folding that piece of paper, dipping it in a glass of water, and then walk. No, even that's funnier than the Riptide change. Like, I just can't think of something as unfun. An impressive part. True. Yes, that fart meeting would have been more remarkable and interesting than the Riptide change. Regis 8 provisions? Which Regis? There's a lot of Regis. You got to be more specific. Initiative Regis, Vampire Regis, Regis Bloodlust. No, turning client. Why? Why? Why is this happening? Make all Regis 8 provisions. Riptide pre-nerf for next buff? So some idiots were like, oh, it's going to get reverted, so... Because they got reverted once. So they were like, let's just make the card garbage. I see. Okay, then. Yeah. Third time, though. We got this. All right, chat. I'm gonna need some prayers. Please pray. Pray for rain and for a match. The constant non-understandable card changes that happened was the reason I lost interest. That's fair. I just get sad. Come on, Turning Client. I believe in you. Do the thing. Give us the video game. Give us the game. Why do I have giant hands? Giant hands. Give it. Give video game. Up, up, up I go. Too much holy energy. Yeah, that's one part of it I raised, and also the other part is some changes just don't get reverted. Like provision buffs to leaders require using a buff slot to revert. Nobody wants to do that because we have an arbitrary number of buffs and nerfs every season, and like units get 6 changes potentially, whereas specials only get provision buff and reduction. It's just an awful system all around. Oh my god, I hope we can get into this game. If we can't, then I'll remove myself as observer and we can maybe watch another game. I don't know. We just hire Vampire? He already got buff. He's 12 now. Doesn't need more buffs. Just convince one of the mods to like set up a prediction for equal tilt. Better connection lost. Please reconnect. Please reconnect. It worked! Your prayers have been answered. Good job, chat. They made us... Stevie da. You, like, went to... like a strip mall. Found this, like... restaurant with health violations. Ordered some food. Got stomach poisoning. And are now, like, coming in here describing the smell of the vomit. Like, why? Why do you want us to be miserable? Why are you spreading the pain? Hi, Sam. How's it going? Taking a break from Baldur's Gate to watch some Gwent? Alright, so we got Death Wish from Ladder Ape versus Tactical Decision Assimilate from Morocco. Interesting deck idea. All of Morocco's decks have been kind of interesting. Oh, I don't know who Dolph Lundgren is. Maybe I should know that.
They will dance to our beat, sing to our tune.
Oh, he's like an action star. He's the guy in Rocky. He was Ivan Drogo.
What do you seek?
He plays Brehen? You know, Full Tilt, there's other ways to get Tobins. You could just watch the stream, too. You don't have to fund your lavish lifestyle only with gambling.
It's not that I'm always hungry. It's
That's
you.
such a weird choice. It's very interesting. Alright, prediction is up. Gamba, gamba, gamba. Spamming Halo is expensive. So, Death Wish 2 and Death Wish things. The interesting stuff that's happening here is, I guess, a toad getting pulled out as well as 4 infusions.
Spill blood to make you suffer like never before.
Wait, this doesn't play AQ. There's no AQ in this version. So instead, what do we have? Just Siegfried and... I missing? Just 2 Cyclops, 2 Sirens. That like just more 5Ps. Just spread out the provisions. And got a Siegfried as well. Ladder Ape always wins. True. With some exceptions. Except for the times where they don't win. They win every game. Or draw. Sometimes there's draws as well. That's a thing. Here comes a Diplo. Rotfiend wouldn't last long enough to die, but... Are there remedies in this deck? There's one remedy. Ladder Ape can't really pass, I think, because they need to get at least one more infusion out. So I think you play a Cyclops here. You can't play Andrago Warrior yet. Play Cyclops, and then the question is, what do you remove? There's already spying on Dagon. He took out the Assimilate engine. It was only 6, but like it could go up to 8 with just 2 more procs, so it makes sense. And that does end the round. Araco did thin by playing DMT and Fur Card. So that was 3 thinning. And they played 3 cards and then 3 cards, and now they have Torres, presumably, somewhere in the deck. There's an Angolim, which would give you a Doldolok. But it would that would be like 2 Assimilate procs on top of the Doldolok value itself, which would be probably 7 points. Doldolok has good synergy with Slave Infantry. Each Slave Infantry will play for 11 on a drone, right? So that's cool. And then, of course, Leader has also Mage Assassins. So Araco has a lot of tools to defend this fleet and get last say. But I think Ladder Ape still has to push, because that is what you do as Death Wish. You're just not going to win a long round against Assimilate engines at all, ever. You just play your really high tempo cards like that Laugh and Toad and Dagon. Gotta get as much value as possible on Erendite, and then pass when you have a big point lead. And hope that carries you the rest of the way. 50 streak from Sam, thank you. Like he's also on a 50 streak. Well done. Slave Infantry will defend his fleet very well. Yeah, 11 for 4s tend to do well when defending a fleet. There's the Succubus.
Sweep your worries away.
$32-8 at the moment. What are we gonna decree for? Decree for a bridge troll. Get the other troll out. Wow. I guess trying to prevent a remedy from stealing one of the toads. Oh, also there's Siegfried, so it makes sense to want the toads out.
I know the truth. I simply want you to admit it.
Are you outro go, or are you just done with game 1? So we see spying given to Detlef, and then Siegfried comes down and answers the spy. We should see Slave Infantry next, right? Here comes Brovins to double proc Assimilate, and then I think that's when we'll see Riptide from Ladder Ape. Here comes a Toad, consumes a Succubus. And clicking this puts Attorney Shalemar on top. There is a snowdrop in this deck as well for synergy with leader. So maybe the slave infantry, leader, and snowdrop are being saved for a short round. But there's also an Anna, so you don't mind leadering early with this deck. Or at least once you leader, you have Anna to replace it. But when you're getting Deathwish, you probably want some Deathwish targets. Here comes Riptide, hits the Toad. I also forgot that the Toad was going to be the Riptide target. So, pretty, this was 9, right? So 8 and 3, 11-point Riptide. After it had gotten armor for a little while.
My prescription.
Here comes Remedy, probably going to be Succubus, yep.
We're not done if you
So now there is no Succubus in the graveyard. For Ladder Ape. Ladder Ape still has Doldolok available. And 2 Toads. There's Divertium Shackles to lock the Brothans. And we have Leader
My men
coming
know
out.
the meaning of sacrifice.
Obviously, we're putting the 2 Mage Assassins up top, but what else?
And the water, my lord.
Unlucky the Mage Assassins hit the Spy. Because that was our coup. Oh, never mind. We have a coup target in Riptide as well. Slave Infantry. I guess we wanted to keep these cards here for Shelma reasons. That's, I guess, why we leadered for Slave Infantry. Here comes Erendite. Takes out the Mage Torturer. Erendite is a 10. And Torres is still in deck, by the way. Torres and Archad.
Just a peek.
Here comes Duchess Informant. Consumes the Succubus, which will actually pull it back out.
Fucked up machine called life.
And then Coup could be used again. For another Toad. Which will play for 9 points.
I don't have a dirty mind. Just one hell of a
It's getting a little dicey for Ladder Ape. Orako is catching up in tempo. How many points will Shelmar play for here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2, 12. So this is 17. It's actually enough. If Ladder Ape passes. First we'll see the Slave Infantry. It's kind of crazy amount of points, honestly. Let's get boosted. We see Cyclops come down. This bleed is not going great for Ladder Ape, I don't think. .50 Shelmar. Well done, Eurosmeister. Getting there. So Ladder Ape trades the Endrago Warrior to get ahead or to tie the score. But Oraka can just play Anna now and get carryover and pass.
Have our undivided attention.
I think like a 4-card short round 3. When you have Artad, I mean, I guess you could miss everything technically. Your top cards could be. I mean, no, not really. With Snowdrop, you're not missing. You're not missing anymore. Which would be very unlikely to miss. Almost impossible. Especially since he didn't play Coup. He's gonna mulligan the Snowdrop because like you don't need Snowdrop when you drew everything. So these 4 cards against these 3 cards. I don't think it's gonna go well for Ladder Ape. Especially when Arthod's gonna drop a debt laugh, which pulls out a code. Like 30-0. That was a 30-point Arthod, technically. Well, 26. I guess the leader also counts. Yeah, this looks... I don't blame Ladder Ape here. I also would have forfeit. So Morocco wins the series 2-0. Let's see what happened to the rest of the bracket. So Nick beat Eurosmeister. Morocco beat Ladder Ape. I Love Olmath beat Max Tremere. So it's going to be Nick versus Morocco and Tom Who Laughs versus I Love Olmath. I think I will send another council for 6 NG nerfs. NG players are built different. Akhna, do you have a preference which game you want to cast? You want to watch Arako? Okay. So I'll do this game. We are now in the semifinals. We'll go ahead and start this round. You guys have 10 minutes to do your bans. I will say the level of play in the tournament has been pretty impressive. And I don't think it's just because I suck and like everything's impressive relative to me. Like I just think I see players do very thoughtful plays and I'm not catching even all of it. And it's just it's a wonderful thing to see. John Cafferty, hearts on fire. All right. Okay. Hey Marcos. How's it going? Let's see. Tom versus I Love Olmath. Both players brought Frost. So we have Lined Pockets with Ulrich. So Lined Pockets Fallen Knight deck with Ruben's Treasure, Cleaver, Novi Justice, Horson Senior. We've seen this deck before. Congregations that are crimes and have synergy with Fallen Knights. Fallen Knights also have synergy with Cleaver. So there's a Hammerfart to get the Fallen Knights back. And of course there's Senior, which has... You can set up targets with Senior with Disciples or Congregation, and it has synergy with crimes. And of course, if you play Furco into like Reuven's Treasure, you can do 2 crimes in 1 turn. And this deck has the maximum number of crimes possible. So as long as you have 1 coin, you can get a 4P crime. Oi out? Where's the oi out? You bet as well. I gotta do it? Alright. Get ready for the prediction to be wrong. Choose outcome or Wk1, right? You start a poll and then bet on it yourself. Congratulations to iRays. Big winner. A lot of toe beans were put on Ladder Ape. That's what you guys get for voting against Nilfgaard. Get assimilated. Your bank account's got assimilated. So here is the Syndicate deck. We have Frost with Unseen Elder. We have Golden Necker Alzur Albrich.
Fuck you, needle garbage.
And then we have Golden Necker Invigorate, because this deck is now 18 provisions. You know, I might finally be able to play my movement deck again. I just gotta play with this leader. Because the extra 3 provisions on this can almost cancel out the nerfs to Golden Necker. Good. Plays Dunka, Sheldon, Torque, Aglaeus, and other hand buff cards, including Sticky Situation. There's Smugglers. Okay, I'll be interested to see how this deck does. On the other side, I Love Olmath brought classic Bounty with the Brute, Blood Money Bounty. There's even a Witchfinder. Oh, this is Witchfinder, right? What are these called? Wait. There is no Witchfinder. There are Vigilantes, though. That card that's like 7 power and gives you 3 coins. I forget what it's called. Then there's this Frost deck. This one doesn't have Unseen Elder. It does run Toad instead. And there's a 8 power Riptide. Over here we have Masquerade Ball. Aristocrats. This version does not run Valkyrie or Gorthog Evade Kanta. It does still run Joachim, though. Which is now 11 provisions. It also runs some poisons. So poisons have synergy with the scenario and with Philippe. It also keeps running. Still has Emir and Usurper. Hard Fate is now 13 provisions. That's kind of... What was it released at? Was it 10 or 11? And then finally, I am observing, right? Round did start. Yeah. Players are taking their time deciding what to ban. The word thought is doing a lot of work in that sentence, Sam. The word thought is like bench pressing. Massive weight. Final deck is from I Love Olmath is Onslaught with Hjalmar and Wild Boar of the Sea. No scenario, no Ragnarok, just pirates with Bran. So there's a raider right here. I don't see any invaders, but I do see funeral boats. Pirates, boats, seagulls. Raiding fleet, there's this random Skjordal. Oh, there was a mashed potato summoned. My bad. Okay, summon mashed potato has been called. Let's hope the turning client is amenable. So let's take a look at the bans. Tom Who Laughs banned Aristocrats from Olmec. Kind of makes sense. Their decks didn't really have a good way to deal with Aristocrats. And Olmec banned Bounty. I'm not sure about this Bounty ban. Because, like, Frost should do okay into Bounty, right? And so should Pirates. Oh, sorry, this is not Bounty ban. This is the Fallen Knights deck. Bounty is here. Take a look at the NG deck again. Does this lose to Bounty? I don't know. I guess it depends on the draws.
Don't make me laugh.
I returned to the game after 1 year. Realized that all the cards I had won were gone. How can I get them back? I don't think you lose cards, Baker. Are you sure you'll sign them with the correct account? I mean, if you played like before Homecoming, which is like years and years ago, then yeah, that can happen. You just get them as currency instead. So we have right off the bat, after Fisher King was played, a Golden Necker to put Alzer on top, I assume. Sorry. Yeah. Alzer DMT, and the DMT spawned the Glennis, right? Well, where did the Alpha Werewolf come from? Oh, because Summoning Circle is also a spell. It's terrible, terrible 8 provision card, though. So there's Vigilantes on the board, and then a Slander. The goal with the deck Tom is playing generally wants to win round 1 no matter what.
Don't make me laugh.
And that's what you see happening, is he just plays Golden Necker right off the bat. The guy literally says, win round 1.
Squealed like a pig, she did, long before the flames first lit.
Rock Slide to answer the Vigilantes. That's an interesting choice. 36-0. Olmath has 9 coins and 7 on leader. But unless they play Scoundrel, I don't think they can stay in the round. Looks like that's exactly what they're doing. Or no, wait, it's tomorrow.
What's my
First.
da doing here?
To trigger the Last of Alzer? Yeah. And it does play for an extra 6 points, but you're against Bounty, and that was your, like, one of your 2 removals. Like, if you let Bounty have their spenders and bounty givers, which is Caleb and these guys, you're just gonna get out, like, you're just gonna lose. I think you needed to keep Rockslide for Caleb.
I bring fair wishes.
These odds. Sounds like the odds are accurate if you're unhappy with them. And now Doedric is played. mean, I think if you're all math, you're fine to pass. He wouldn't mind, like, summoning circle pulling out a golem, but he just can't afford to play a card. If you play a card as all math and Tom passes, then you have to play another card, and then summoning circle will pull a 13. So you just need a, like, okay, he's gonna play. He's gonna play. He's gonna play Scoundrel. I think Tom should pass.
Anyone and see it swiftly removed.
Should be Blightmaker here, in my opinion. No,
Naturally.
it's a Courier.
At once.
Yeah, Tom passes. And now Olmath has to get the 67 points. Or 57 points. Sorry. So he needs 38. Like, what? How do you get there? Because you can't apply multiple bounties in one turn.
Our pyres will light up the north.
And you don't have another spender to use all these coins. Still need another 24 points. Like, bro. This isn't... Did Olmath maybe not think about the golem? Even if the golem's not there, right? It's still, he still need... Yeah, if the golem's not there, he can get there, but still be down a card. Like, I don't know.
My time the north was cleansed.
It was not. It was not enough. We're gonna see a shady vendor to maybe get more carryover. What are we even doing? It's Graydon.
The church welcomes
Oh
all.
my
All are
god.
free to convert.
Down 3 cards. 4 actually, because oh no, it doesn't matter because there was 5 cards on this side. This is oh man. I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna be a potato.
No stench more foul than flesh well charred.
Any potatoes in the chat? Potato gang. Olmath is baked.
Feed them with hunger.
Maybe.
Crush them with thirst.
Oh, you mean it was like cooked? I see. I thought you meant like they're high. Also, be careful with that word. There's a very terrible history around baking in my people.
I've a special fire for you, Chappelle.
I mean, he's not completely dead. Because he has a way to draw the brute. But there's like Obligatories.
Prepare for war.
We put these two in the deck.
And the water, my lord.
Oh, Aldrich. Okay.
Fuck you, need of garbage.
Snowdrop, just the. One of the advantages of these Aldrich decks is they don't have any engines that can be answered, right? Like there's nothing here to lock. So you don't get any extra removal value as bounty, but this Caleb not being answered is a problem. It might honestly be worth Vilgeporting. But we'll see. Lumbago. Sam. Can't play that song during a tournament. You should, Vilga? You think so? Like, I get that that song's stuck in your head, but I promise you the other 102 people watching aren't gonna, like, be like, yeah, that's my song. You should look up, but you're glad he's not, because you have money riding on bounty.
The pious to see which is birth. Just provide the kindling.
You're a mod. You do your own poll. Are you asking me? /poll.
Yes.
Will the extra 2 points per turn on Aldrich be enough? Because there's no grade in either, or more else, right? So there is actually not a tall punish. This is at 2. Just go. Caleb the courier, yes.
Of course, as you wish, master.
Alright, chat's Stan wants you to vote on a poll to decide whether his song request gets played or not. Currently, Bounty's leading, yes. Bounty does love a long round where their Caleb doesn't get answered. That is true. And the Brute did get some value. Perhaps it was played a little early, I don't know. There's a bit of a coin problem though, isn't there?
Best commodity in town, I swear it.
Urge?
I spy.
Urge at 6. Urge actually got good value there. Its leader is at 1.
That was not in the spell books.
Oh, it's just one song. Let's listen to it. We are listening to it right now. I don't think it's even a song. Sorry, Sam. I'm gonna give you back your points. The vote was not passing. Like, it was a tie, I guess. Like, did this manga play for more than 20 points? It probably did, honestly. And the leader gets value. But that still might not be enough because... Like, this is 20, this is 22, and then this is... something. There's at least another, like, 15. I don't know. It's a lot closer than I think most people expected. Not me, of course. I'm never surprised. Potato knows everything. I did all the math in my head. I ran a simulation about this game. I'm just acting like I don't know the exact result. Create suspense. Offensive Vilgefortz. Trying to play around more... Well, no, because there's not enough coins from where else.
A little good.
56 to 24.
I never err in
Here
my
comes a 22
predictions.
points. Boom. And then another 20 points. And Tom is going to win by 10. So I think giving your opponent 3 extra cards might have been too many cards. So Tom wins game number 1. It was a good effort though. It was a good round 3 effort. But just imagine if there was a rock slide for that manga. How much less close that would have been. So it's 1-0 now for Tom Who Laughs. And we go to game number 2. Where Tom is going to be red coin. And Olmath is going to be blue. From red, as Tom, you probably play Frost here, right? You can't play NG anymore, so it's either hand buff or Frost. I imagine you play Frost. Olmath from blue? Could really be anything. Probably even Bounty. Oops. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna see Frost for both players. A Frost Mirror. One side has Unseen Elder. One side does not. But Boglet and potentially Oberon and wait. And NL Conquerors all have Veil. That kind of makes Unseen Elder not as good. The music is appropriate.
That with Burgundy. What a demented thought.
See if I can run a 30-second ad to snooze some stuff.
Oh, what is this? Peasant wine! Fetch the cupbearer!
We got a prediction going. Thank you, mods. Gotta place your bets. So it's the battle of the aristocracy. Aristocrats on either side. This one had Veil. 1 leader charge used by Tom to get it going. I have no idea what you're supposed to do in the sphere. I just know that it's cold. Red Riders.
We've caught another taskmaster.
So Naglfar crew will absorb the frost unless it's moved. Which it can be because dominance. This 4-power unit has dominance. Will we see another aristocrat played, or no? It's just an NL Conquer.
Yet another horse for my collection.
It's looking decent for Olmaf. But both players have one Foglet available. And right now, Olmaf is taking frost damage and Tom is not. That being said, Olmaf does have an aristocrat on the board. And he just passes. He takes the pass. I mean, that's probably smart. You got a Foglet from your opponent. And you're not losing uneven, right? Which is like... On the other side, Tom did get a bit more frost damage. Yeah. Guess that doesn't really matter. 2 turns of frost here, 1 turn here. I don't think that's going to factor into anything either. Both players have their Tyrnalia now. An aristocrat is in deck. Both players also have their Winter Queen. Only Olmaf has... Sorry, only Tom has their Wildhound Riders. Maybe that comes into play in a short round 3.
We shall conquer this world as we have conquered.
Really one of the matches of all time. Honestly, like, this is a very interesting match to me. Hey, Skellige.
Yeah, so as I was saying about the silk, you know.
So we see an NL aristocrat come on the board for I Love Olmaf. This is the last aristocrat on this side. What are we going to see here? Because you kind of want to protect this from the frost, right? Tyrnalia. Tyrnalia is kind of an obvious response. And Tom hasn't played his own Tyrnalia. Olmaf also moves an Naglfar to the other row, stops it from growing, but also like makes sure that when he plays Ardgate, there's 2 units. Doesn't last say Tall Punish on Caranthir win? I mean, it depends. Because, like, Caranthir played last isn't always the best either, right?
Not a step further.
Like, these decks have a lot of points that isn't just Caranthir. Olmaf has 2 Foglets, whereas Tom only has 1. Olmaf has now the same number of leader charges, has dropped Eredin, gotten Winter Queen out.
Truth is a shard of ice.
Maybe that's adequate compensation for Tom, but Tom still wants to get Tyrnalia on the board. He hasn't played his Ardgate yet. Moves to Eredin. And then drops the Foglet. All that goes to 7. Which is actually means a Riptide would answer it. But Olmaf doesn't play the Riptide. Just goes for the Foglet himself. There's Ardgate. Now we should have a Winter Queen come out for Tom as well. Right? Guys?
When the white frost comes, the world will at last be cleansed.
Oh, it was still Tom's turn. Okay. Still no Tyrnalia for Tom.
Let Gwent Farledo sia
Naglfar? Do you Toad Prince? Toad Prince is a good answer to Winter Queen. And that kind of changes things because this was 16 points the Winter Queen's not going to get. Doesn't want to play the Imler's Wrath. Tom does have dominance, so he is getting Ayrton value, whereas Olmath is not. But currently, Olmath's Caranthir is bigger. Now they're the same size. Crazy. Now comes Tyrnalia. Boosted and now Conqueror. Tom is ahead by 10 points, but Olmath has 2 cards. I think this is an easy... Well, I don't actually know if it's easy. Both players are going to have Ardgate next round, so that's where Imler's Wrath is going to get value. Okay. Olmath is going to use the Tyrnalia click with the Waha Navigator to just put this round to bed. I don't see Tom can... Well, Tom could do the same thing, actually. But... Yeah, okay. The Wildhide Navigator here as well, followed by Red Riders into replay. Because there's 11 turns of Frost on the other side. Oh, he didn't have dominance. Because he didn't have dominance, it was just 5 instead of 11. And he could have played a back row for at least for 6. Oh yeah, there's also a Winter Queen here. I think he just dropped the Riptide. Yeah. Tom basically just had to hope that there was no Caranthir or Imler's Wrath in hand for the opponent. The opponent happens to have both. So we're just going to see Imler's Wrath take out the Caranthir and then a pass. I think maybe Tom not having dominance was a misplay. Like maybe the first one could have given dominance. I'm not sure. But I mean, like, we got an Oberon here, a Caranthir Golden Child, and then what do we have on the other side? Slave Trader is not it. Ardgate was mulligan? Instead of Red Riders? Oh, that also has an extra leader charge, so... Yeah, you just play Fogga on the back row. Tom can't actually kill it. Because he would need Frost on this row to do that. I guess this is a play. It's gonna die next turn, maybe? Nope. Ardgate boosts it to 8. And there's an Oberon here, and to be fair... Wait. Did Tom play Oberon in round 2? Not drawing Unseen Elder or Gales kind of sucks. He did it, but like playing Oberon as part of your bleed and not like opponent getting to keep theirs, you probably just lose the game. Unseen Elder would have been more of a, yeah. It's just not like Poe would play for way more points than Unseen Elder would have in that game, right? So that ties up the series. It seemed to me like Olmath was a lot more comfortable in the matchup. Like, getting that pass in round 1 was a godsend. And once that happened, Olmath also just did a great job defending the bleed. Knew exactly what to spend, what to keep. And it seemed like Tom was just kind of cornered at that point. You know, sometimes when you're bleeding and you're not getting the cards you want, and you have to, like, use everything you have and hope they miss their cards, and then they didn't miss their cards. That was basically that game. You want to understand why some people play him in Frost? In some matchups he can be really good, but it's kind of unnecessary and it has high variance. Because in some situations it's just very bad, right? But it's gotten buffed. It's 7 power and 11 provisions now. And their devotion anyway, so I think that's most of the thinking. And the deck has provisions, so like people were playing Mamuna for a bit as well, like, or not Mamuna. Yeah, some people were playing. What's the relic? I forget the name. The one that grows by 1 every turn. Well, I used to just float 4 provisions. Yeah, I remember Lario playing a deck that just floated 4. Because, like, the Balance Council has an obsession with, like, Wild Hunt. Player base just do, because they played The Witcher and Wild Hunt was cool. And a lot of people in the Russian community were like, oh, Frost is the skillful monster deck or some shit. I don't know, man. It's all whatever. Elder from Blue Tempo Pass? I mean, those kind of plays can work against bad players. But in a tournament? Open deck list? I think it's a lot easier to punish you for running Elder than otherwise. Than you getting good value from it. But I see the logic of playing it. It's one of the highest skilled decks in the game. I think Castle just ignores it because casuals can't play it well. Yeah, I mean, I can believe that. That's why Scratch Lot keeps getting nerfed. Solitaire decks just get nerfed more because more people rank 3 to rank 1 play it. People who like don't really play it but just want to like jam a deck without thinking. Those decks tend to get more nerfs because the play rate is higher. Unless it's Nilfgaard, then only half the community will nerf it. The other half will keep buffing Sergeant back to 4 power. Because that's gameplay. Regardless, we are in a new game. Olmath is playing Bounty, and Tom Who Laughs is playing a hand buff. And he got a Whisperer from a Harvest, which has Veil against a Bounty opponent. Fortunately for Olmath, Tom doesn't have a lot of specials. Well, actually, he has a few specials he can play. Okay, he just passed. Golden Nectar hand buff with 18 provision leader. A Smuggler and Dunko were both played and maybe pay out. Yeah. Olmath, right? Number 2. That's who won. So this like Lace being in hand is actually really a big deal. Maybe leadering now isn't great. I guess he wanted Smugglers to get to 6. for some reason. Because if you want to make sure that your buffs go on Sheldon and Aglaeus, you should play this and then hand buff, right? Here comes a vigilante. Will we see a sorcerer?
Spit it out
Yes,
already.
we do.
I don't have all day.
And then here comes the last leader charge. Is there a Watcher of the Valley in the deck? Yes. So the Smuggler, or was this card called? Yeah, the Hawker Smuggler gets answered. And the Sorcerer plays a backup plan, which finds a Farseer,
I've seen it
but
already.
Farseer doesn't get any points because everything in hand was buffed. Let's see, a Circle of Life. No, we are not answering the Vigilante. We're playing Fledglings. That's interesting to me, especially since Waters of Brocculon would have been really good from Golden Necker.
Devil's handmaid.
Wait, where's Golden Necker? What, it was played in round 1? I'm so confused. Wow, yeah, we played Golden Necker round 1. That seems interesting. Yeah, not answering this was a misplay. 2 per bounty, and it adds reach. You have a removal, so just remove it.
Grow, my beauties. Reach high into the sky. The Valley of Flowers. There is no place more beautiful.
Leader is at 4, so the Whisper can be answered. And it is. Although realistically, it wasn't going to get that much more value. We're clicking Tome because we're bounty and thinning is winning.
Magic sows chaos.
We have Confession Extractor in the graveyard for 2 more pings.
Who watches the Watcher?
Recently? Liquid?
We will cleanse Novigrad with fire.
There's Menga. So Tom getting the Menga out is good, but his bleed is running out of steam, I think. Thing is, he kind of wants last save for his Aglaeus. And this is the central problem with Handbow, I think. Is that it's a deck that it's an archetype that falls apart. If your opponent can hold on to their call punish. It has to be clicked once, otherwise Tom can pass. There it is. There's the click. So Sheldon here is 7 damage. Sheldon can answer Caleb. And in fact does. Don't see hand buff every day. It got buffed. It got a provision in the recent patch. So Tom really wanted to get his card back. And I think he might have. Because there's 7 coins. And the Caleb's gone. Receive bank used here. More else can't be used. It's just a witch hunter.
Our pyres will light up the north.
That doesn't get Olmath ahead, and so Tom just says thank you for the pass and pieces on out. Now he has a 5-card round 3 with Torque and Igleus in hand. Like, these are good cards. It's Warhammer 40k music. Bounty says some pretty huge boys. And he does have a tall punish left, but
Don't spend it all in one place.
what do you put back? Tamara. Classic Tamara problem. You drew it too late. There's no time to play it.
Yes, Mama.
Sticky situation on Torque. No, it's actually Hawker Smuggler first, and then you play Sticky Situation.
Don't kiss a dog neath its tail.
Here comes Shady Vendor. This should pull out King of Beggars.
Could you say?
Right? No, not even close. He played it front. If he had played it... Never mind, Morels is 6. I keep forgetting Morels is 6. Unless you're in off the books. Destroying a card makes Octavia Hill become a 3-for-2 spender, which is pretty good. Basically Candle without having to spend increasingly more. So you boost Torque, which Torque will then boost Igleus. These are pretty good. I mean, this Igleus will win the game.
Be careful not to step in it.
Will it? Actually, I don't know. This Igleus is going to be what, 40... 17 times 2 is 34 plus 4, 38? Okay, no, it won't. Because the Brute gave so many coins, and Morels is also, with King of Beggars in deck, is a lot of points. Okay, Bounty wins. I still think Tom played that correct. But with the exception of maybe Golden Necker in round 1. But like, he got what he wanted, which was a short round 3 with Igleus and Torque, but it didn't matter. And buff 19 provisions next month, yep. So there it is. I Love Olmath wins the series 2-1. Cool matchups, though. We saw like a Frostmirror. We saw Albrecht versus Bounty, and then Bounty versus Handbuff. So with that, the semifinals done, and Nick Ukera also beat Oraka 2-0. So the finals are going to be Nick versus Olmath. I'm going to go ahead and start the round. Players have 10 minutes to do their bans. The finals is going to be a best of 5. So players will have to win with 3 decks. and one that gets banned, so you have to win once with each of your decks. We actually haven't... We didn't get to see Olmath's Aristocrats deck because it got banned. And then I haven't seen Nick's lineup at all. See what Nick brought. It looks like Knights, Frost, Collusion, and Blaze of Glory. So this Collusion has Professor. Usually you don't see Professor. But we do still have, like, yeah, usually you see Novigrad, but this version has Professor and Tunnel Drill. So this is like an older style, right? Used to be Collusion would play Professor and Tunnel Drill. Back before Novigrad was in the game. Yeah, pulling the strings. A bunch of poisons, and then Junior, Professor, Tunnel Drill. And of course Siggy Mastermind, King of Beggars as the main power of the deck. We have Frost with Morvad. That's the card I was trying to think of earlier. Morvad and Unseen Elder. Interesting. So Nick bringing a slightly different flavor of Frost. I don't think I've ever seen Morvad and Unseen Elder in the same deck. So what are the cuts? Obviously no Riptide, no Phantom, no Toad. In terms of 5P, there's one Bruiser, one Aristocrat, and one... So like most of the cuts I think were in the 5Ps. Oh, no Foglets. That's the thing. 0 Foglets in this deck. You know what? If I played Frost, I wouldn't want to play Foglets either. I feel like drawing them versus not drawing them is such a huge variance. Ditch Foglet, Embrace Hound. Rue. The Dominance Hound. I think this is just filler. And then we have Knights scenario. This looks very standard. There is a verification here. Aitha, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. We are in the finals. Players are looking at each other's decks and deciding what to ban. We're looking at Nick's decks right now. Thanks for the follow. Nevermore. Welcome in, welcome in. Do we have any Nilfgaard in the matchup? Yes, but it will probably get banned. This is just standard Aristocrat scenario version.
Fuck you, Nilf garbage.
Welcome in, Reeds. Good to see you. Who said that? World Champion Miyaman. Look, we have a cool emote for Nilfgaard. I thought you might approve. Welcome in, everybody. If you don't know me, I'm Mashcraft. I organize this tournament. We play every week. Same time. Everybody's welcome to join. We usually limit it to 16 players, and we play for fun and community. And here's the bracket so far. You see Nick basically 2-0'd every game against some good opponents, actually. And then Olmath had a couple of 2-0s and then a 2-1 in the semifinals. And we are waiting for the players to do their bans. Are we? Yeah, I started the round, so... You can ban start 4 minutes ago, yeah. Understandable they would take a minute. For some reason, lots of people love NG, but everyone hates NG, although NG is golden record the other way around. That makes me sad. Don't hate NG. Okay. Who won? Olmath one. Oh man. So what do you guys ban if you're in this situation as Olmath? We didn't get to see Olmath's pirate deck either yet. You're against Knights, Frost, Illusion, and then Blaze of Glory. What's this Blaze of Glory deck? It's iced. It's iced with Totem. What? Totem's just because it's a 12 for 9. Balance Council, please. Non-raid warrior? Didn't Highland Warlords get nerfed? Yeah, the Highland Warlords are now 7 provisions. Okay. It's basically unplayable. Hey, Marishka. Voting for 8 next. Do we buff NG Witcher Trio? No. It already got buffed and it turned the ladder into a rent-free fest. Like, remember all those months where everybody was playing rent-free NG? It was because Witcher Trio got buffed. And then, instead of nerfing Witcher Trio, we nerfed Iris and Triss Meteor Shower and rent-free 6 times. And even rent-free's Gang, which got reverted. We like nerfed everything but the Witcher Trio, even though the Witcher Trio was what like changed everything to make that deck OP. So it's still there at the higher power. Reigns is also at its buff state. So no. Literally the last card you should buff is Witcher Trio. Both NG and SK Witcher Trios. Or neutral, I guess. Alright, here we go. What are the bans? The bans are NG Aristocrats got banned and NR Knights got banned. And Nick is going to have blue coin twice. And Olmath is going to have blue coin 3 times. So now what will Olmath pick on blue coin? We still haven't seen their Pirates deck in action. Like Frost likes red. Bounty, I guess, can go either. Depends on the matchup, right? Gui pasta list. Yep. Why are you toxic? I don't think you're stupid, you just have bad luck with thinking. No, Nightbot is not AI. Nightbot is just a giga chat. Just because something is smarter than you doesn't make it AI. Nightbot's an OG clanker. I see the fuck up fairy is missing this again. Oh my god. Bro, just because he lost the semifinals doesn't make him a fuck up. You change your mind? Does this one work any better? Just Nightbot just massacring chatters left and right. Nightbot somehow knew my entire life. I know the feeling. I'm gonna insult you. I'll play as you turn off you. You're street smart. That's to be street smart. Sesame Street is a kids TV show. So like where they teach children like how to count to 5 and the ABCs and stuff. And I don't know, we nerf Sesame next VC. You are Syndicate now, yes. Change your whole identity. You're no longer an NG fan. So right now we have 69 points on Nick and 69 points on Olmath. Odds are 1-1 if you want to place your bets. Gamba is available. One of the greatest soundtracks of all time right here. He takes his time. Good. The finals. He's allowed to think about what he's queuing with. So peaceful. Must be the song makes you want to pull up a chair and enjoy some Darnassus cheese. Maybe he's getting his drink but stuck between water and coffee? Could be, could be. If you want a drink, I recommend Rogue Energy Drink. Get 20% off if you use my link, and I get a little commission. It's a little powder you add to water, and then you get your own cost-effective energy drink. They also have a recipe that's for people who are caffeine sensitive. I couldn't resist, Full Tilt. I couldn't resist. I gotta do some business. I'll actually run some ads now, so we don't get interrupted in the middle of the game. Ha! Instantly got we started game. I knew it. Okay, it was only 30-second ads, so hopefully those people will come back. Welcome to the finals of weekly number 109. We have I Love Olmath in the blue corner with the Frosty Frost against Nick UKR Lucianic with Blaze of Glory Iced Warriors with Svalbard Temp Totem. A lot of toe beans on the line. 32,000 points on Nick, 24,000 on Olmath at the moment. We see Olmath open with an El Aristocrat, giving it the Crystal Skull boost. Nick's deck is Warriors without Highland Warlords. But there is, in fact, a Tier and Greatswords. There's also a Bran in deck. So all of these veteran cards get a +1 point. There are also Bear Witchers, because Bear Witchers are just good value. We have a Wild Hunt Warrior. A Wild Hunt Warrior comes down to answer the on-crate Raider, or at least damage and give Frost. But the click is used on the Raiders, so it won't... removing it no longer has value. And then also got Order is used to move the Greatswords down to the other row that doesn't have Frost. I think the assumption is this card would always get there, so might as well. Why not? This card will always get boosted, so you might not want to damage it. Olmath, while having dominance, played Wild Hunt Riders to get them out. And this is where it becomes interesting, because... okay, Olmath just passes. Says, I don't need Last Say, and I don't need round control against Warriors. How did this matchup go? What do you guys think? I mean, you have an answer for Tier, in theory. No, not really. Because Riptide can't answer Tier anymore. I mean, and it could still be played around. Don't Warriors with Tier and Ice just win a long round 3? And like Herald? Like Frost just can't really answer that many things. Can answer Resilient Tier? Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. Oh, this Riptide nerf is so stupid. So dumb. Alright, here comes Hayway Scald. Yeah, there's lots of ways to counterplay Riptide. That wasn't the issue. But Papago Warrior players have opened Naked Riptide for as long as I can remember.
Your souls will
The fact that it was never supposed to work doesn't change the fact that it always worked.
Hey, listen here.
And there's no like Dorage or anything in a Frost Devotion deck, so. Wait, this was their vote? They voted to make it 8 power? That's so dumb. No, I'm not going to comment on that subject then. Alright, anyway, we are in round 2. Nick has played 2 Scalds to populate the graveyard and thin some. But I don't expect him to keep playing further. Like, there's just no reason to play when all of your cards will play for, like, most of your cards will play for 1 extra point in the next round. Oh, okay, so it's another fucking moronic, I'm gonna make a garbage, terrible change to prevent some change that I think is kind of bad. It's like cutting off your leg because you're afraid you might, like, your pinky might step on a Lego. So you're just gonna chop off yourself at the knee. That's the Shinmiri logic of, yeah, fucking stop. Just stop. The stupidest shit I've ever heard. Like, literally the Seagull Coalition has more insight, and I would rather they be in charge of all of Gwent than Shinmiri at this point. Like, that's how bad some of this logic is. There's nothing wrong with ping pong. We have categories that have too many options anyway, and you just ping pong a card back and forth. Exactly. Like, there's nothing wrong with ping. Like, it's just not thinking like 2 steps ahead. Oh no, this change might get reverted. Okay, then we'll revert the revert, and it's fine. Fine.
Toss it onto the pile.
All right, round 3. Oberon as the opener into an aristocrat. I imagine Nick's gonna play Tyr, and then we're gonna kill it. But we could see Tyr being held for a while. Stop the Sergeant Ping Pong? Which is a dumb place to stop it at, because it's at 4 base power, and it shouldn't be. So, Blood Eagle into Brockbar Warrior just to answer the Aristocrat. The Aristocrat was going to play for a lot of points. It's important to get rid of it. Oberon lives for now, but that's not going to be the case for very long. Yeah, now we have a 4 Provision Sergeant without a round requirement. Literally the 4 Provision card plays for more than Sergeant. Interesting decision to play Ardgaith now. With an empty board. Sure, it gets Winter Queen out. And I think the idea is there he wants to be able to play Foglets and have him stick. Because Gutting Slashes, like, there's no Highland Warlords in this raid, so in this deck, so Gutting Slashes are at most 6. Right? Now, of course, Leader is 13, but that's only 1. And then Hjalmar is another 13. Wait a second. Who needs raid cards when you can just play Blaze of Glory and Hjalmar and Greatswords? Yeah, Liquid. That was what I told Shin. You didn't listen. Like, just ping pong 2 cards back and forth. That's fine. So Riptide with Frost is actually going to answer Tyr here. That's fortunate for Olmath, because otherwise this Imlerith's Wrath would have had to been used. Nick, of course, could have played around that by playing Herald first. Kind of trivial to play around it. I think. Harold and Bran or something like that. The fact that opponent had clear and obvious counterplay doesn't mean anything, apparently. Riptide to 7 power, yep. We had Alumni at 5 power for a whole season. It wasn't good. Yeah, so there's Hjalmar, and then next Fogget will get answered by Leader. So we're gonna see Ice into Leader, right? I guess Nick would prefer to have Bloodthirst so that Ice can draw a card. But honestly, that can brick stuff too. Like, you don't want to draw the Greatsword, right? There comes Herald. Look at these guys. Like, they're the same power as Invaders.
Up and at 'em, you lazy bastards! You'll sleep when you're dead. Elders.
Harold with the skilled ping, setting up Bloodthirst 3 for Ice. So for anyone who doesn't know, if you're Devotion... Sorry, not if you're Devotion. If you have Bloodthirst 3 and you play Ice, you get to draw a card and discard a card. And that card pops out of your graveyard because your Devotion. No, that card comes out regardless. But then when you Leader, that comes out because you're Devotion. And now we're gonna Leader the On-Crate Greatsword, get rid of the Foglet, which is currently at 12 power. And then it pops back out. That's a 1,000,000-point combo right there. And this is the combo you usually want to bleed when you're facing Iced. And that did not happen. This Bear Witcher will answer the Winter Queen. So it doesn't need to be answered. On-Crate Raiders will answer Oberon. So Olmath is basically cooked. I don't see how he wins this game. No, they wanted a 9 for 9. So they're nerfing it to 8 for 9 so that it ends up at 9. I don't fucking know, man. Go ask him. Well, we're done. We're done talking about Riptide. It's such an OCD idiotic thing. Like, it's like there's a stain on your wall, and your solution is to rip down the entire wall and then say, there's no stain anymore. I fixed the stain. It's kind of risky that Nick didn't answer the Winter Queen, because technically this Wild Hunt Navigator can boost it now. Right? Oh, he doesn't have Dominance, so he only goes to 8. But that's enough to get it out of Skjordal range. Here comes Svalbard Totem. This was the latest Nick could play it. I guess you can combo Bear Witcher and Skjordal to finish off the Winter Queen anyway.
Over my dead and cold body.
Yeah. Like, Nick doesn't even have to play the Bear Witcher. So, game 1 goes pretty much as I expected. Warriors, like after Frost passed round 1, like, in general, you should change a card to be where it is balanced and not touch it again. The problem is we have morons in the community who still get to vote, so we have people who buff Sergeant to 4 power, right? Or people who think that the best way to nerf the Highland Warlord raid deck is to provision nerf Highland Warlords. What you should do is nerf their tempo. Make them like 2 base power or 1 base power. And then leave them at 5p or whatever. Because then that opens up counterplay. That way when somebody like plays like Warlord on blue coin, you can punish them. Right? Because they're very slow. They're getting carryover, but the drawback of the carryover is that right now they have no points. That's how you make the card balance. Like, nerfing it by provisions only nerfs the whole deck, and as long as you're buffing other cards, that's gonna negate itself. They'll still play the Warlords and they'll just cut something else, or they'll if any other card in that's playable in that deck gets a provision buff, then it goes back to where it was before. Because it's not mana. Provisions are not mana. You're not spending the provisions each turn that you play it. It just costs when you put it in the deck. So if you nerf Simless but you buff Harvest, you've done nothing. Okay? Like if you nerf Simless by 2 provisions and buff Harvest by 2 provisions, then it cancels each other out. So just make each card be balanced and then the game will be balanced. Like, I don't know why this is complicated. No, they will not. We asked them and they said no. The reason was they didn't want to deal with like having to give security access to people outside CDPR, non-employees, and they didn't want to have employees working on the game. So it was like that was the reason. If they had built the game with like a modding framework or like a, you know, like a mod workshop type thing on Steam, or allow you to do friendly games with a patch, or like, you know, then it would have been easily done. But they didn't do any of that. They didn't build any of that into the game. $40 chains per month mission 12. I mean, we had those discussions when it was first done. It was 60, right? Then they like made it like 30 or 20, and it wasn't enough, and then they ended up at 40. The problem isn't the number of changes. The problem is the categories, and there's no control over that. Like, if you make it 20 changes, then there will be 5 unit changes, 5 power plus, 5 power minus, 5 provision plus, 5 provision minus. None of that can change because they coded the system terribly. Okay, so this time Olmath is playing Frost on red coin. And he's playing against Collusion Syndicate gangs. Hey, Elverso, how's it going? I hope you're having a good day. Yeah. Hey, Hatham, how's it going? Nope. Chat said nope. I've been trying to get them to watch you play other games, but they're just... There's a bunch of Gwent Andes who only want Gwent. Which I get. I understand. It's cozy and comfy. So there's 4 tags on the board right now, which means this is going to get yoinked. Say goodbye to NL Aristocrats, because Bronze Muzzle is in the house. 5 provisions Bronze Muzzle. That doesn't lock. So you can actually move this and get value from the movement. Yeah, Katash. Because when I have a game coming out that I'm planning to like promote with a new, like a cross promotion, I definitely cancel it and lay off the staff and discontinue the game. So that there's no player base to benefit from the cross promotion that I've already planned. That's how businesses work. Because they hate money, you know? They're like, yeah, we're gonna revive Gwent when Witcher 4 comes out. Well, let's cancel it for now. We don't want to accidentally make money on this. That would be a terrible tragedy. So a little bird gets used, which is something. And Olmath once again passes in round 1. He doesn't like fighting for round 1 with Frost. I'm not sure I've seen people do that a lot. Irony detected? It's possible. So, as Syndicate, do you just go a long round? No, I guess the answer is no. Nick says I'm going to play some cards. Because I think you want a medium round, right? Like, you don't want a super long round, you don't want a super short round, because you want to get your gangs on the board and then play some cards. But you also maybe don't want a 10-card round. That gives Frost too much time to build their synergies. No, Gwent was always making money. It just... per employee, they were making less money on Gwent than they were on other games. They just decided it wasn't worth the headache. There's no way Gwent money was bigger than Tekken.
Yet another horn for my collection.
Is that really true? Tekken's a massive esport. Do any of you play Heroes of Might and Magic, by the way? I've seen a few Gwent peeps play it. Would be cool if they did a surprise Christmas card drop, like 4 new cards per faction. Yeah, 0 chance of that happening.
My Fistic's purest tears, purest in all.
Absolutely 0. 20 years ago? I'd never played it or heard of it, but I guess it's like a cool strategy game that's been seeing a revival. I just saw that Ivar has 1 power now. Kill me now and be done with it. The thing is, Ivar and Slave Infantry will get reverted. But like, that Invigorate buff and the Jackpot buff, those are not going to get reverted. They'll just be with us forever. So, Nick played Professor to kill what? Oh, to kill an aristocrat, yeah. This is actually very handy for him. It also has the Salamander tag. So right now we got all 6 tags on the board, don't we? This is an easy junior. Never been an easier junior in the world. Right? Or are you forced to steal Winter Queen first? Right now, this one 4 players in Evo, which is the biggest FG tournament. First place is 9,000. What's this round 2 push about? I think because Syndicate wants to shorten round 3 somewhat. They don't want to have like a 10 card round 3 against Frost. Like when you have, like, Sticky is basically like Golden Nectar, right? It's a card that plays 2 other cards. Whenever you have cards like that, shorten the round is good for you. But before you can play Siggy, you need to have some tags. This might also just be like a 2-0 attempt. I don't know. When you have Jacques, you have a better short round than most decks. Jacques with King of Beggars, which he does. So you could play now, like go deep, thin your Siggy Mastermind. It used to be like a thing with Syndicate, like before Collusion was the main competitive deck, is you would just like play and then keep Jacques and Junior for a short round 3. Yoink the Eridan party. Yeah, we already yoinked the Winter Queen. There's Tide Cloak, Salamandra, Cut Ups, Crown Splitters, Blind Eye. That's 5 tags. We're missing, no, that's Tide Cloak, Blind Eye. We're missing Firesworn. That's why we can't steal it. So it's gonna be 5 power and then we'll steal it. But this Walham Navigator can boost it. I guess that's why the poison, it's like saying, Olmath, I dare you to boost this. Don't try to get ahead. I think trying to get ahead would be a mistake. You gotta keep the Ternilia. There's 5.
Well, we've not had enough.
This Bloody Good Friends is such a good card when comboed with like Junior or other removals or yoinks. Because if people boost it, like it counters the counterplay. Like he could ping that's technically down, right? He's got 2 plus 3, so you could ping it down 5 and then yoink it. You literally yoink the Foglet. This doesn't play Salamander Mages. It has Professor and Mutant Maker and Mutated Hounds for Salamander. No lore accurate Gwent for Frost today? What do you mean? So, Olmath actually decides to get ahead. Will we see Siggy get played now? Because there's no Firesworn, so... I guess this would be the card that gets played for Firesworn? Hopefully he doesn't get Jacques.
And now,
there's
time to
Siggy.
settle things.
Could play Jacques and then... or sorry, Mutant Maker and then Collusion, right? Wait, what happened to Collusion? It was already played. Oh. So now we're playing a Poison instead.
Perhaps a different degree.
Didn't get Pistek Trafficker. He would have liked to get double Poison, I think. Save the leader charge. Is up 18 points. There's no Frost on the other side. So Tyrnalia has to be used first to apply 4 turns of Frost. And then Naglfar into... Imler's Wrath is only 5 or 6. He's gonna have to go with Oberon. Not great choices here.
This one's really drained. Fetch me another.
Yes, to play his last card. Yep.
We know the mysteries of
And this is why you bleed with this deck, because when you have explosive tempo, opponent trying to like keep their card can really land them in very tricky spots. So now we go to round 3, and if Nick draws Jacques, Nick wins, I think. There's Jacques. No, mulliganing Sewer Raiders is kind of... I guess because you could draw... And that was a brave mulligan. I don't think you mulligan any further because... You don't want to draw King of Beggars right now. Or Furco. Furco's also a brick. Heck, Furco is... kind of dicey in this deck. Not a lot of specials.
Naivety is a fool's blessing.
So we see Gale's used for Wild Warriors. Or Riders. There's Tunnel Drill. You click because it's a 3-for-2 spender. It's over. No Riptide. And like, what are you gonna do? Move this and then Imler's Wrath of 3? Olmath just not having a good time with Frost in this series. So that's another loss, this time from Red Coin. Nick now has to play Frost himself. So it's going to be a Frost Mirror, and Olmath will be blue. But he did win the Frost Mirror from blue against Tom, I believe, in the last round. Yeah. So maybe he'll have luck here. One. What do you mean? the deck was released with the strongest variation of every card, would you think it would be competitive? Can you explain what you mean by that? Just give me my fist stick and let me be. That's not fist stick, CV Dub. That's sugar. Powdered sugar. Each card had the strongest of all like the strongest iteration of that card. How would they release a deck of that though? You mean if they like? I still don't like. I'm trying to think of the logistics. Like, it's not like Magic where you can buy a card pack and it just has like special edition cards or whatever. But sure, if I could play like. What are some really busted cards in the history of Gwent, guys? We had like 4P Onagers, right? Temple was what, 12? Mutagen was 6 provisions? It would probably be some NR thing, honestly. First Imlerith? Yeah, I wasn't around. You're thinking of like a super team, right? Like $9p Ironite. Oh, release Renfrey. Obviously, that's got to be in there. Release Renfrey, that was like 13 provision, 7 power, and would do like... Here, let's watch a clip. Look at the point count. I'm 44 to 101, right? So I play a 25-point Regis. Now it's 66 to 98. And all I have left is my Regis ability. Or my Renfrey ability, rather. Easy game. One more time. Damage all enemy units by 1. If it was different than their base power, then damage them by 2. So everything that was boosted or damaged takes 2 damage. Also, lowest power card goes to 12. So the passive was 11, and then the... I mean, we went from being down like 30 points to being up 3. So like a 33-point leader. And that's not counting the 7 points you got when you played it. Thanks for the follow, Sarah Herzog. Sarah Herzog? I think that's I'm saying that right. Welcome in, welcome in. We are gonna go into game number 3 of Olmath versus Nick UKR. Wait.
No retreat! Not one step!
I don't know why I thought he was gonna play Frost again. I was like, it's gonna be a Frost mirror. I don't know why I thought that. Brain moment. So we're gonna see Olmath with his Wild War of the Sea Onslaught Pirates list versus Unseen Elder Morvad Frost from Nick. This should be a treat. Unfortunately for Olmath, movement is pretty good against on-crate longships, and Frost is pretty good from Red Coin. I think it's going to be an uphill battle, but it's doable. Let's see how Nick decides to play this. Yeah, he's immediately gonna move the boat. Doesn't want it to get value. And plays the Dominant Swordhunt Hound, which goes to 6 power on turn 1. It's 4 base power, got 1 power because the opposite row was Frost, and 1 from leader, and then 1 at the end of the turn. So Funeral Boat is played, and then a click. Frost actually has a hard time with multiple small engines, right? Because the only way he kills stuff is there's a Wall Hunt Warrior that can kill something if it's the only thing on the row, or sometimes there's a toad, but this version doesn't have a toad. There's like bruisers that can kill a 4 sometimes. Thanks for the raid, Gwent Soul. Welcome in, everybody.
Is a fool's blessing.
We see Gales come down for Ardgaith, and that gets Winter Queen out too. So Nick immediately says, I'm winning this. I'm winning this round on even. Olmath really wants to play Abordage here. We might see like a leader charge on the Wall Hunt Hound to get it damaged. No, we don't. We're just going to see instead the second Funeral Boat come out for now. So these engines are actually going to be pretty decent. Thanks for the follow, Rocket Falls. Welcome in, welcome in. Appreciate the raid. Wall Hunt Warrior finishes off one of the Funeral Boats. Now there's only 1 Funeral Boat left, and it's in precarious position because 2 power on a row that has Frost. And now Abordage can be used on the Wall Hunt Warrior, and then I guess you play a Raider after that? Or will it be a Corsair? It's gonna be a Corsair. Okay, I think you just Corsair the Wall Hunt Warrior and hope you get lucky.
Blood on the sea. Thunder on the seas.
And you do, because you're a skilled gamer. That's how you make it to the finals. It's 10-7. Technically Nick can pass, but I don't think he's gonna pass. You think you don't want to pass against pirates, you want to bleed them. Pirates don't like being bled.
Very corpses.
Here comes a Raider that has 2 armor. It's going to absorb the Frost as well. And the Cataclysm is giving him armor. And now when he's at 5 cards, this is when it starts to get dicey because... his opponent has 25 points on the board. And this thing is still getting points.
Burn the homes, fell the trees, anything shiny, plunder!
Interesting decision to just basically Olmath is saying I'm okay going down an extra card, and I don't think Nick's gonna get out the round. So I think he'll play another Conqueror, but I'm not sure. I believe Cataclysm got this Wall Hunt Rider down to 2 power, so on-crate Raider quick kill it and then get an extra point from Funeral Boat, and if that pings this, then, you know, even 1 more point. Okay, Nick does pass here. He's up 6 points right now, and this is going to go up again another point. All of these cards are very good. Cards that Olmath would prefer to play later. He plays in Wildboar at the Sea, and it plays for a lot of points, but the opponent already passed, and he's very sad about it. So down a card, but got round control. The problem is that guarantees Nick last say, and Nick has Morvad, and a lot of times against like a removal heavy pirate decks, having last say makes a huge difference because you can play a big point slam card and just survive, like outpoint what pirates have on the board at the moment. even if they like remove everything else you have, sometimes just if you have big finishers, that can be enough.
So silky.
So here we are, round 3, and Nick has last say. He's drawn Unseen Elder, Alberon, Morvad, Paranthier already. The only thing he needs is Tirnalia and Imler's Wrath. And he draws Tirnalia, which means Naglfar will get Imler's Wrath. I don't think he can take another mulligan because it might brick his Naglfar. On the pirate side, we're missing quite a few gold. We're missing Terror of the Seas. We're missing Hjalmar Seawolf. More card. Like this is pretty terrible. Yeah. Being down a card and not drawing any of your key gold all game. Kind of a tragic and sudden end for Olmouth, but still big kudos for making it to the finals. And well played to Nick, who kind of played that super clean and precise and did everything he needed to do in the first 2 games. GG's all around. As usual, I want to thank everybody for participating. These tournaments wouldn't be possible without everyone who plays in them. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I won't be playing any Gwent today. I'm just going to see if I can find someone to raid. Excuse me. Let's update the champ command. Big congratulations to Nick for winning the tournament. Very well played and deserved. Edit champ. Champion of weekly number 109 is Nick Ukar Lucianic. Hope to see you again next week. And I'm going to send you guys all onwards to Mr. Doberman 8, who is playing some alumni, or at least students. I see Letitia. Yeah, there's alumni. Gular, Irregular, is streaming? I didn't see it. Oh, wait. He literally just went live. Okay, well, if you guys want to watch Irregular, he's there as well. I'm going to send you guys over to Doberman. Thank you. YouTube, please like and subscribe.